Shall we kick on over to these XG and XA charts?
Yeah, sounds good, man.
So what we're doing this week is we're taking the format which we're going to pick the top 3 XG and XA from the last 5 game weeks. So we've lengthened it out to 5 game weeks, but we're just going to take the top 3 and focus on them. So we're going to start with the XG tables as we have done in the past. Sitting in number 3, Jamie Vardy, Jack, with 2.82. Within that, 5 goals. So incredibly overperforming. What are your thoughts on Jamie? I know he's come off at half time. I think they're saying it's a precaution. We'll obviously have to wait and see. But say he was to come back and play a part this weekend, going forward, do you want him? Are you interested in him?
I am interested in him. Yeah, it is a worry, the knee thing. I think he said he felt it in the warm-up, but Rodgers played him anyway. And then he felt he had to come off at half time. So I think that is a bit of a worry. And they're not as reliant on him as they used to be, with Daka doing well and Iheanacho obviously starting games now. So it would have been quite a nice move for me to go from Kane to him to free up some funds to help me out elsewhere. But now that knock's happened, it's a bit dicey. I mean, obviously wait for news if you're thinking about getting him in, but it's quite ominous. I would say someone at his age picking up an injury like that is worrying to me. So I know a lot of people transferred him in this week ahead of when Lukaku got injured. He was a really popular transfer in, wasn't he? So yeah, I'm not feeling that great. What are Leicester's fixtures saying? How are they looking?
Not amazing. They've got Arsenal, Leeds, and Chelsea in the next 3, and then Watford and Southampton after that.
Yeah, not terrible, not amazing, I would say, yeah. But I'm just not. He's no longer on my radar unless, I can't really see Rodgers coming out this week and saying he's 100% fit and ready to start. Because even if he's 100% fit, they still might rest him for Daka. So, yeah, that's how do you think you're tempted by Jamie?
Underlying stats, great. Goal returns, great. But the risk of his play, like if he's going to be watching minutes because of this knee injury, they didn't play him midweek. I don't think they did. They rested him. They played Daka and Iheanacho up top. So, they're trying to protect him as best they can. That tells you everything alone there, doesn't it? Like, and you add in a knock or a doubt. I think in the short term, we just have to think he's too much of a risk. I own him. I did that classic Lukaku Vardy switch. Just the underlying stats look too good for me.
Did.
And obviously he's a player has good value, so you can switch back to Lukaku because we don't know exactly how long he's going to be out. So, but yeah, now obviously having to have a problem now. He is a fire to put out in the team.
Yeah, see, I don't know if he's a fire, man. I'd say wait, it's a potential fire. It's a box, and you don't know if there's a fire in it or not. It's Schrodinger's fire. You've got to wait and see if what Rodgers says. Have they got a League Cup game this week?
Not sure. I mean, no. the news from them so far is it's precautionary, isn't it? But
yeah, very unlucky for people that brought him in there. But there we are. Yeah. Anyway, who's next on the list, Joshua?
It's Michail Antonio. So
goals.
Out of this kind of snapshot of 5 games, he only actually played 4 of them. So he has less minutes, we should say. 2 goal returns and a 2.84 XG. So unlike Vardy, slightly kind of underperforming there. But I think I'm right in saying we both own him. And I think I'm going to assume that we're both going to say we're both quite happy with him.
Yeah, I was growing a little annoyed with him. I was getting a little annoyed with him because of this underperformance, really. I mean, it was always promising when the stats still stay good, but they're underperforming. Because you think, okay, it's just maybe there is more luck. He's not just playing awful. But yeah, he's been a bit quiet lately with just the 2 goals and no assists. But yeah, he took his goal well, kind of. It was maybe a bit lucky. Right place, right time off that corner. And came in with some bonus points as well. I mean, he's nowhere near the state of the strikers at the moment. He's probably still the best option, isn't he?
Given his price point.
Yeah, we say every week, he acts like a premium. And West Ham are still good, aren't they, as a team? They're still looking. It's a great win against Spurs, really, I know Spurs aren't what they were quite, but it's still a London derby, a great win, a fixture they typically lose in years gone by. So yeah, really, yeah, you got to keep him, man. Not much more to say. Bring him in if you're worried about Vardy and you don't have him. He's a great choice because he frees up funds as well.
Yeah, mixed. The only one of the concerns, I guess, is mixed games coming forward, like Villa, Liverpool, Wolves, City, then Brighton.
Not the best.
Not the best, but West Ham are a good team. You would be a little bit worried that their like attacking sword will be blunted a little bit by some of those teams, City and Liverpool, notably.
Yeah, I think Villa they'll dispatch Villa for sure.
Oh, Jack.
But
yeah, not back in the boys.
No, I'm disappointed with them. Yeah, you're right. Not the best fixtures. But where are you going? Where are you moving him to? There's not many.
Exactly.
It's amazing how quickly it changes, isn't it? Like start of the season, do you remember there were so many choices and you couldn't have them all. It was like DCL, Bamford, Ings, and now they're all off the map.
It's the age of the differential now.
But yeah, there's Antonio.
And then the number one spot, if anyone's going to be surprised by this, Mohamed Salah.
Yeah.
4.71 XG over the last 5 games, 7 goals scored, 3 assists to boot. Anything that you want to say that we haven't already said about Mohamed Salah?
Well, I would say that I actually feel a bit bad for the people that went for a sort of non-salary punty this year. Like a friend of mine's done it. And I messaged him after the game saying, look, dude, you've just got to get him in now. It's just getting silly. And he was just like, I think just right now, I've missed the boat so much. He may as well just stick with it and have fun this season because the season's gone for him. And then he said, he was like, Jack, even you must admit that this is obscene. Like this is ridiculous. Like we haven't seen this before. And he is right, because if you look at where Salah was and the season's gone by after game week 9, he's like doubled the FPL points of his best season already. Like he's already on 100, which is insane, even compared to his crazy high standards. So you have been unlucky if you've looked at Salah and thought, maybe I'll just, take a gamble. It's still a dumb move, really, probability-wise, but I think you've probably been overly punished, even if you have done that in relation to what we expected would happen. Yeah, if you're still pushing for rank this year, you have to get him in and captain him most weeks. Like you just have to. There's no other clever play where you can avoid him. I don't think anymore.
Especially now, as you said, because of those lack of other big boy premium template options. So often will he be captained by such a large number that already own him. So you're going to get punished big time when he does return inevitably, if you don't have him.
Yeah, you really are. I mean, I understand that it's boring. Like it is boring when there's just such an obvious captain for everybody to have. But I would say things do change fast. One injury changes it all. A bit of rotation changes it all. And of course, the African Cup of Nations, when that comes along, he's gone for a month or so. So then it'll get interesting again. So it's getting cold. The weather's getting cold. We all want to just hunker down, safe, nest, bring Salah into your nest, stay safe for the winter, and then let's have some fun when the African Cup of Nations comes around.
Comfort Salah.
Then it'll, take your comfort blanket, Salah.
Done. Yeah, we said even more than before. So that's it for XG, the top threes. Now over to XA.
Yeah.
In third spot, Yuri Tielemans, 1.82 in the XG. He's actually had 2 assists and he's actually popped up with 2 goals as well. Are you interested in a Yuri Tielemans?
For some reason, I'm not still. He's always, for me, been one of those players who I haven't been interested in. Very good player, football. If I managed a real football team, I'd love to have him in. I think he could play in any team. I think he's got that talent. But from an FPL perspective, both his goals have been beauties, haven't they? They've been, I think, was it a screamer this week? And that lovely sort of chipped to the back post last week against United. They're low value. I mean, 0.44 XG says it all really for him there, and scored 2 goals from that. His XA is good. His XA is fine, but I don't think you can live and die by XA alone. You need the good XG to go with it. XA is very much a complementary stat to the XG, I think, in FPL. So when it comes to attacking players. So yeah, I'm not interested. And I'm not convinced by Leicester yet fully as a team either, as well as exciting as they are. You know, I don't think they're quite ticking how Rodgers would want them to just yet. Yeah, that's my view. What do you think? Are you tempted? Am I wrong to be skeptical?
I think he's in a rich vein of form. So I can see why managers want to jump on, like FPL managers want to jump on that rich vein of form, because you could say that of any kind of, differential player or, non-premium that you want to bring in when they're on form and then take out and swap them up for someone else. I mean, I don't think anyone will doubt that he's in crazy form at the moment. He's playing incredibly well. As you said, his goals are unbelievable finishes. That's shown against like the XG being so low. Leicester-wise, that point still stands. In the Brentford game, they won 2-1, but their XG was lower than Brentford's. And actually, Brentford had more shots than them, less shots on target, but 15 shots total for Brentford, 10 shots for Leicester. I know that doesn't say the whole story, but Brentford were well in that game. So Leicester, didn't dominate them. And I think it comes down to that type of player, isn't it? That you're going to be comparing Tielemans to maybe more attacking focused players from other teams at that kind of, he's at 6.4 mil, 6.4, 6.5 area. So there's a lot of players that have maybe a higher ceiling for FPL points than him.
Yeah. How much is he? How much is he in FPL?
I thought he was coming in at 6.4.
Yeah, decent. I mean, if Rafinha is injured this week and you're looking and you haven't got any budget and you need a player, then maybe in the under 6.4 bracket, I mean, he's competing with the Townsends, Benramas. So, yeah, I mean, compare those two players with him there, Josh. Would you go Townsend and Benrahma? Have you still got Benrahma?
I currently do have Benrahma.
Yeah. Who would you rather have out of Benrahma, Townsend, Tielemans, and Gray, say?
The funny thing is, probably at the moment, I've been looking at probably getting Benrahma out just purely because when I've seen him play recently, he's just, and what West Ham generally, I think, are lacking that kind of that magic touch that they had before. Kind of extra touch passes going awry a little bit. Everyone's lacking a bit of confidence. So I think that ship has sailed a little bit at the moment for West Ham.
Blanked in the last 4, hasn't he, Benrahma?
Yeah, that crazy form. I think that the team's dropped a little bit, and therefore, you can look elsewhere from him. So I do like the look of Gray, but I'm just a bit wary of these players coming in. Richarlison's back now. I think it's going to affect their dynamic, and they didn't have a great result obviously this week as well. So
the wheels fell off there, didn't they, in that game for them?
No, exactly. But I think people like Smith Rowe and Townsend as well over the course of the season, I think are going to score more points than someone like Tielemans. I would take a Townsend or a Smith Rowe or someone like that going forward over him.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I didn't even think about Smith Rowe. Yeah.
Who's cheaper than him? He's a mil cheaper than him.
Yeah, fair summary. Who, Josh, is next on the XA charts in second spot?
Bit surprising. It's Bruno Fernandes. 2.02 XA, and you mentioned the importance of having XG as well for these type of players. 1.17 XG, 2 assists in the last 5, 0 goals. I can probably expand this question. Do you want Bruno? Do you want any United assets?
They're in the ultimate point of avoid, aren't they, after that performance? The players themselves will be down, and there's the question mark over, is Ole going to go or not? By the time we publish this, he might have gone. Who knows? But if I was to have any Man U player, it would be Bruno, I think. He's, like we said last week, he's still the main man, despite Ronaldo being there. I think watching it, he's still the one trying to make things happen. Even against Liverpool, I thought he was probably their best attacking player. He had some nice flicks and touches. He was trying to make stuff happen, but just got completely cut out of the game by the brilliant Liverpool midfield. And yeah, I mean, don't get him. Don't get him in.
It's too much risk for the value. You can bring in
Yeah.
so many other better prospects, can't you, for cheaper?
No doubt
No
about
doubt.
it. Yeah.
That was a quick one. Good.
That was good. See you later, Bruno. Goodbye.
And then number one spot, he seems to have had it locked for weeks.
He does.
Every time
He
we've
really
done these
does.
reviews, it's still Brentford's Ivan Toney, 2.49 XA. Again, the 1.27 XG as well. 1 goal, 2 assists in the last 5. I mean, his fixtures look great as well. I know you've kind of been looking to get him in. Is that still the case?
Say it every week, and I want him in. I want him in. He's high on my list, and every week goes by and I don't have him in. But I've kind of gotten away with it because he hasn't, despite these brilliant underlying statistics, he hasn't actually come up with the points as he's really. Yeah, since that haul against Wolves, and did he get an assist against Liverpool? Yeah, he hasn't quite done it. I mean, he's played Chelsea and West Ham, 2 very tough fixtures, and he could have had something in both of them, definitely. So now the fixtures are turning. I'm very tempted. I just stupidly got caught by, well, I could avoid Harry Kane, so I'll get Harry Kane in. So yeah, I'm on that. It's a decision now. Do I drop Kane and get him, or do I maybe get him in for my Dennis and take a hit and get rid of Rafinha? Maybe, I don't know. We'll come on to that, but I think he's still a great asset, man. Even though he hasn't delivered the last couple, and Brentford is still exciting, and yeah, he's so good at linking up and creating those chances for his teammates. You still happy to have him? Frustrated? Bit frustrated, or?
Again, he fits in the category of one of those players that looks great on paper, and I don't see him as a fire, but it would be nice if he started to return more points.
Yeah.
And I think if someone is in a situation where they're looking to bring in a striker, at 6.5 mil, with the games that they have, the fixtures that they have coming up now, Burnley, Norwich, Newcastle, Everton, Spurs, the first 3 of those look great. They're a team that have been mixing it with everyone this year. You'd expect them to score goals in those next 3 coming, and he's still looked good. He's passed the eye test. So yeah, very happy with him in. And we've already mentioned that there's an absence of, kind of coveted attacking options at the moment. So yeah, Toney may be your man.
I think he is the man. I think he's the man. I think you should get him in if you are looking for a striker. Again, Vardy not doing it for you. If you already have Antonio, I think he's the next best option.
Just love it. He's a provider.
I love him.
Great. So that's the XG and XA. Bit quicker this week because it's just the top 3. We're going to take a little break now, and then we've got quick fire questions, and we're going to focus on what we see as the most interesting fixtures for game week 10.
Great.
Awesome. All right, see you in a sec.